So good afternoon. Second year Bcom Computer Applications Semester 3. Similarly, second year BA Computer Applications Semester 3. Rdbms. Today's topic is functions of database management systems or functions of Dbms or Rdbms. So what are the main functions of any Dbms application or package? Means indexing, views, security, integrity, concurrency, backup and recovery, design, documentation and update or query. So all these are the functionalities of Dbms. So starting with views. So what is a view? Custom representation of a database that corresponding to the needs of a class of users stored in select statement. So what is a view? View is some feature of Dbms application or software. To generally views are used to view or retrieve only some portion of data or information or from the tables by using select statements. So by giving full rights or full view view to the users, it may not be suitable or it may not be securely generated. So in sometimes we may restrict some data view or some portion of the data views by using views only. Generally views are used to retrieve only some portion of the data, not all the data or information to the users or application programs. So generally views are created by using create view statement, and in views we may use select statement. By using select statement we may retrieve only some portion or required portion of the data or information. For example, in banks, managers have full rights or to view all the data or information, whereas clerks have limited access or limited views to view some portion of data only, not all the data or information regarding customers. So views provide representations of data for different users to protect data quality, insulate users from changes in structure, like that. So why we require views? Generally views are used to create generally used to create views are created for users, different users, for to protect data quality, means to protect the original data or information stored in the databases. Similarly, insulate users from changes in structures, means generally to avoid or to regulate or to restrict users from the original data or tables. Original data information or tables from the, means original data is stored in somewhere else. But by using views we may access some portion of the data or information only, not the full data or information or rows or columns, so that the original data may be securely kept in somewhere else. So how to create views? By using create view statement. Create view, some view name, within braces view attributes or column names or field names separated by commas as select statement. Similarly, views permit maintaining a constant user interface and restricting access to specified attributes, specifying user rights. So generally views are used to permit or access maintaining a constant user interface, and restricting access to specified attributes means by using views may restrict some fields or columns may not be accessed by all the users, and we may also give some user rights also by using views, means some portion of users view some data, like that. In this way, so that by using views we may protect the original data information or confidential information and restrict, we may give some access, database view database access. Some users have full access, some users have only limited access, or limited access means limited view, like limited viewing some columns or records only, like that. So second feature of database, another feature of this one is security. Another functionalities of Dbms is to provide security. So components that limit access are actions to limit potential damage to the data. So why we require security means, by using security only some limited access will be, not full access, only limited access will be given by users. That is first point. And the second one is to protect the original data or confidential data or information stored in databases. So how we secure the data or information? Limit data access to properly authorized users or programs. Protect the data against accidental or intentional damage. Data detect, minimize, recover, investigate, all these things. So there are two components or parts in security. First one is limit data access. Data access limit is gradually reduced to properly authorized users. Properly authorized means here we use two terms, authorization and authentication. Means authorization and authentication are two terms are used. Authentication means authorization and authentication. Authorization means giving some rights to some users. Authentication means authenticate himself as a proper user, and means the user may prove or authenticate himself by entering proper credentials like username and passwords to access the Dbms, like that. So protect data against accidental or intentional damage means, another important feature of Dbms is to protect all the original database from or against accidental data or accidental damage, like that. So recovery in stolen, like that, stolen and damaged data and fire accidents, like that. So what are the security approaches or security measures should be taken? So views limit access and actions. Authorization rules identify users and restrict actions. User defined procedures, and encryption and authentication. Authentication means positively identify users. So all these are different levels of different procedures are applied on the databases. First one is views. Means view means by using limited access, by giving limited access and actions on the databases. Authorization rules means identify users and restrict actions, means some users have some actions or some users allowed to do something, or other users have full actions or full rights. For example, DBA managers are having full actions or full authorities. DBS, database administrators, have full authorities like creation, deletion, insertion, changing, accessing, giving, creating new users, accessing rights, like that. So authorization rules are strictly followed and created. And user defined procedures means, in addition to database security procedures, many we may also protect the database by writing various securities labels or security policies by using procedures. Encryption is means encode and decode and encode stored data. That is another important way to protect the data without accessing the original or direct data from the databases. Authentication, what is authentication? Positively identify users means those who are having the rights only can access the data or information. That persons are called as authentication. Authentication is a procedure or process to identify himself as a true user or a true or original users. So authorization rules. So what are the authorization rules? For example, subject object action. So different actions are used, like insertion of records, modification of records, deletion of records, or deletion of records, like that. So all users don't have full rights, so some users have some rights. So authorization rules. What are authorization rules? Some Dbms products authorize actions based on specific records and functional descriptions. However, most Dbms is limited actions on tables to one of read, insert, update, alter, delete. So by using authorization rules, we may restrict all the users or some of the users by giving some access only. Means some users have only read properties, or some users have insertion of records rights, and some users have only updation rights, and some users have only editing and deletion rights. So in that way we may restrict the database. And user defined procedures, code modules that enforce security procedures are run during processing. So there are many, we may write number of procedures to protect the data against accidental damage. Next, another important feature of functionality of Dbms is integrity. What is integrity? Components that preserve the relationship among different related records in the database. So another important functionality of any Dbms or database is to maintain proper integrity or fully integrity. Integrity means it is properly connected. By properly maintaining a proper relationships among different records or different tables in a database. So the relationship among records in the database is generally done by three ways. That is, first one is referential integrity and non-key integrity and derived conditions. Referential integrity and non-key integrity and derived conditions. So another important feature of or functionality of Dbms is concurrency. What is concurrency? Preventing two users from interfering with each other when they use the same information. So concurrency is a process when two or more users are trying to access the same data or information at the same time. In that case, some race will automatically begins, or some race will occur during the execution of the transactions, and generally we may avoid concurrency situations like deadlocks. So lockout and versioning, restricting access to users who could be misled by partial transactions, and generally concurrency in Dbms is deleted or removed by using two concepts. The first one is lockout and versioning. Locks or lockouts, concurrency locks. So another important concept of concurrency is deadlock. What is a deadlock? So two programs request conflicting sets of data, lock up the database while awaiting access. Program 1 locks record A, program 2 locks record B. Program 1 requests locked on record B, means in waiting stage, and program 2 requests lock on record A, that is also in waiting stage. System either times out and restarts each transaction after a random wait, or recognizes the deadlock to abort one program. So in that situation, deadlocks may occur. So another important functionality of Dbms is taking backup and recoveries regularly. So backup and recovery means processes to confirm and repeat transactions so that database can be restored to a valid state after a problem. So backup means, backup is a procedure to take the copy of the database, to take and kept the copy of the database in safe and secure place daily, and whenever a problem occurs and whenever the database is corrupted, original database is corrupted, the original database or data is will be recovered by using the backup files. So backup and recovery. Backup copies are generally masters and transaction logs, and generalization means forward log and backward log and checkpoints. All these are different types of backups used. So all these are next is Dbms log. Dbms, what are logs? Logs are generally used to record each and every transaction which are done or which are recorded in a file, and that file is called as a log. So logs, generally Dbms logs and logs are the files. They may record all the transactions, user actions and database actions, like that, problems, anything if exists, like that. So recovery, how to recover database from backups. So generally backups are generally maintained and kept in a separate place, not in the original location, by using some transaction. By using some transaction only, the backup will be replaced with the recovery, restore. It is called as restore. The backup will be restored by using the with the help of transaction only. We may restore the original backup. It is called as recovered database. So Dbms logs are used to record everything about transactions, forward log, backward log, master files, like that. So recover to checkpoint using logs. So how to recover and what is checkpoint? What is checkpoint means each and every stage or each and every transaction in day-to-day transaction is recorded by using checkpoints. All major transactions or all major things will be recorded with the checkpoint. Checkpoint means every transaction, major transactions are recorded with some date stamp. So we may recover the database to its original state by using checkpoints. So all these are the major functions or functionalities of Dbms.